One quality every principal must have.
Should never be judgmental about anything.
Discipline or empathy. One sentence that defines leadership.
It is, an agency with integrity based on trust.
इमेजिन कीजिए एक ऐसा बच्चा जो हार्ड वर्किंग है, इंटेलिजेंट है, लाइफ में कुछ करना चाहता है, बट ऐसे बैकग्राउंड से आता है जहां अपॉर्चुनिटीज लिमिटेड है और कोई उसके पोटेंशियल पर विश्वास नहीं करता। लेकिन एक दिन चेंज आता है। He comes to a school where people believe in his potential, support him, encourage him, and push him to take that leap forward. जी हाँ, आज मैं ऐसे ही स्कूल की बात करने वाली हूँ। आपको लगता है कि मैं शायद कोई कहानी सुना रही हूँ, लेकिन ये कहानी स्टूडेंट्स ने जो उस स्कूल में पढ़ते रहे हैं मेरे साथ अक्सर बार बार शेयर की है। और आज मेरे साथ हैं उसी स्कूल की प्रिंसिपल मिस पूनम आनंद। वेलकम मैम।
थैंक यू।
और इन्होंने उस स्कूल को, एक ऑर्डिनरी से स्कूल को ऊंचाइयों तक पहुंचाया। विद इन अ फ्यू इयर्स, थोड़े से सालों में ही वही स्कूल था, वही बच्चे थे, वही टीचर्स थे, लेकिन वो इंस्टीट्यूशन पूरी तरह ट्रांसफॉर्म हो गया। इनफैक्ट एजुकेशन वर्ल्ड, जो कि एक इंटरनेशनल एजेंसी है और स्कूल्स को ग्रेड करती है, उन्होंने उस स्कूल को दिल्ली में नंबर 2 और इंडिया में नंबर 5 की ग्रेडिंग दी। And this transformation happened because of the visionary leadership of Miss Poonam Anand. So, Poonam ma'am, आपको क्या लगता है कि क्या हुआ ऐसा कि suddenly एक आम सा स्कूल इस लेवल तक पहुंच गया?
It was just, creating awareness amongst the teachers, amongst the students, and building a kind of connect, trust that yes, we can do it. Everybody can do it, and they're capable of doing that. So maybe there was something which was lacking, and to make them believe in themselves.
Ma'am, you did amazing work, and I have been personally a part of your team and a witness to how you brought about that transformation. लेकिन आज हम आपसे ही सुनेंगे कि भाई वो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन कैसे होती है। तो आज मैं देखती हूँ कि स्कूलों के पास इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर भी है, स्कूलों के पास स्मार्ट बोर्ड्स भी हैं, लेकिन दे फील इमोशनली एम्प्टी। सो व्हाट मेक्स एन इंस्टीट्यूशन स्पेशल?
So, institution is not just a building or things, it is made up of people, and how these people connect with each other, interact with each other, and if they have ownership for the institution, ownership of the teachers with the students, even ownership of the safai karamchari with his work which he is doing, so and at the same time certain values, something, kind of a culture in the school. And I remember even how children talk to each other. I remember an incident when the class 6 students, who got admission in our school after clearing the exam, I asked them, how do you find this school to be different from the other schools, or where you were studying before? And, this little boy said, ma'am, यहाँ पर सभी लोग बहुत प्यार से बोलते हैं, कोई गाली नहीं बकता. And I was taken aghast. What? So, and even, he said, teachers जो हैं वो भी हमको आप करके बोलते हैं. So, that just the general environment of the school, how people are behaving in during the break. Nobody, pushes us, and we feel very comfortable whether it is break or during the school hours. That was an eye opener for me, and he was all praise. Within 2 days, this little boy could sense, that he is at a right place and in the right environment. So, that environment really matters, and it is at different levels.
मैम, हमारी ऑडियंस स्टूडेंट्स हैं, पेरेंट्स हैं, एजुकेटर्स हैं, एजुकेटर लीडर्स हैं, आपने इन सब रोल्स में काम किया है, एंड आई वांट एवरीवन टू टेक नोट के हाउ यू कैन एक्चुअली बिल्ड अप एन इंस्टीट्यूशन। सो मैम, आपने अभी कल्चर की बात की, तो स्कूल का कल्चर कितना इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, और आपने क्या छोटी छोटी चीज़ें, मुझे भी कुछ याद हैं जो मैंने की आपके गाइडेंस पर, तो क्या छोटी छोटी चीज़ें एक स्कूल लीडर कर सकता है कि उस स्कूल के कल्चर को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए?
You know what? I'll say once you come to a new school, just observe, don't be judgmental, just observe things. And as a leader, we have to accept whatever is there. And every teacher or all the students are not exactly the way you want them to behave. So, first is the acceptance, and then a keen observation, and then uh, giving them certain goals in a very subtle manner. So, being an RPVV, all the students were passing, and but there was no goal for the teachers. I remember the first day when I had joined, the result was out, board result for class 12th was out, and one of the teachers said, "Oh, thank God, nobody failed." And as I had come from RPVV as a teacher, I was wondering what we are not, we are RPVV, why this thing? So then I realized that there is a lack of, goal setting for them. And I made a goal setting performer. Maybe, all your students are passing. They're all getting, 75% distinction in the subject. Now, what is your next goal? So, it has to be, a stepwise improvement. So that awareness was lacking, which I feel, gave direction to the teachers. Or maybe all my students, are above 60%. So next year, what do I have to do? So, likewise, in academics and in sports and other things also, we made very small little goals. Not I, they themselves made it. And accordingly, worked on that. And here I'll share, our chemistry lecturer, Dr. Amita Puri, her students were doing very well, getting 90s and all. And she wrote in her goal performer, next time there will be at least one or two students getting 100 out of 100 in chemistry. And she did it. So, setting a goal and working on it, really create awareness. And then people know where to put their energies and how to go about it. So, that
I,
was
I,
one
I
thing.
still remember it, ma'am, and it was such a beautiful exercise, and it created a healthy competition amongst the teachers also. So instead of, backbiting or bitching or doing politics, what people were talking about was that you got this much result, and you have written this much in your goal, how you are going to go about it. So we, asked each other that these are the set of children that we have, and they might be facing problems, then how we are going to work on that. And ma'am, आपके वो initiative के बाद फिर then we made certain performers to find out what are the problems that the students are facing. So
So here, Rajni, one more thing I am remembering. Uh, I was also working with the datas. So every year the department, puts the whole results, and then QI subject wise, school wise, and I was comparing with Sector 10 RPVV Dwarka all the time. If you remember, QI in X subject Dwarka is this much, ours is this much, and I was sharing it with all of you. And uh, keeping in mind, even every teacher realized like they are also getting the students through exam, we are also getting the students, and all the teachers have come through interface, they have faced an interview and joined. So why this so much of the discrepancy? And we had, teachers, if you remember, in the school who had cleared 2 levels of UPSC, very brilliant teachers, and that really, awakened our teachers. And as you are saying, then you made performers, and make all the teachers work on those lines. Yes, we are no less, our students are equally good, then why, where is that link, missing link?
एंड मैम जस्ट टू क्लैरिफाई कि हम उस टाइम पे द्वारका सेक्टर 10 के साथ इसलिए कंपेयर करते थे बिकॉज दे वर द नंबर 1. सो द आइडिया इज कि जो भी टॉपर हो उसके साथ कंपेयर करो. तो स्टूडेंट्स जब हम स्कूल्स में इंस्टीट्यूशन में इस लेवल का कंपटीशन पे काम कर सकते हैं. सो इन माय क्लास आल्सो दैट्स व्हाट आई डिड मैम कि भाई जो टॉपर्स होते थे उनकी बात होती थी. एंड वन ऑफ द रीजंस व्हाई आई हैव दिस यूट्यूब चैनल नाउ, व्हाई वी आर टॉकिंग इज सो दैट द स्टूडेंट्स कैन आल्सो लर्न कि आप अपनी लाइफ में अपना एक गोल सेट करिए एंड देन वर्क टुवर्ड्स अचीविंग दैट. स्मॉल स्टेप्स बट एवरी डे मेक सम प्रोग्रेस. सो क्लास में भी आई हैव सीन दैट देयर आर स्टूडेंट्स जो डिसाइड कर लेते हैं कि हाँ ये टॉपर है, इसकी ये स्ट्रेंथ है, मेरी ये स्ट्रेंथ है, मैं इस स्ट्रेंथ पे काम करके जैसे भी हो मुझे इस टॉपर तक पहुंचना है या उसे बीट करना है. दैट्स कॉल्ड हेल्दी कंपटीशन. और दैट इज समथिंग दैट विल गिव यू अ पाथ. आपको रास्ता मिल जाएगा कि हाँ मुझे इस रास्ते पर चलना है. जब हमें अपना गोल नहीं पता होता, जब हमें अपना रास्ता नहीं पता होता, तब हम अपनी एनर्जीज इधर उधर वेस्ट करते हैं. बट ये एक बहुत अच्छा तरीका है. पेरेंट्स आप भी इससे बहुत कुछ सीख सकते हैं. आपके बच्चे हैं, आप उनको इस तरह छोटे छोटे गोल्स सेट करके दे सकते हैं. आई नो आजकल बहुत सारे पेरेंट्स, बच्चे भी ये कहते हैं कि हाँ किसी से कंपेयर नहीं करना चाहिए. यहाँ पर कंपैरिजन की बात नहीं है. यहाँ पर सिर्फ उस बच्चे को ही एक एनकरेजमेंट देना, मोटिवेशन देना और ये दिखाना कि देखो जब कोई और कर सकता है तो आप भी कर सकते हैं. यू हैव दैट इन यू. तो वो रियलाइज कराना बहुत
Actually,
इंपॉर्टेंट
this
होता है.
is the awareness,
जी
creating awareness.
जी
And one more thing, if you remember, I used to say communication is the key to success.
एब्सोल्युटली.
So I would like to say something about it. So by communicating, what are you doing? You are building trust. You know, when you are communicating, you are connecting, and this connection build trust. So that was the forte. And if you remember, uh, regular meetings with the children and with the teachers really brought about a change. And now I'm reminded of another incident when the class teacher of class 12 science came and told me that this time our girls are not doing well. Let's sit with them in a meeting. And you were also there. We sat in the conference room and we talked individually to all the girls, and they had different problems. And one of the girls, she said that I feel comfortable studying at night, but nobody let me switch on the lights because, as you know, the place from where they are coming from, they stay in a single room, which is a kitchen, which is a drawing room, living room, and bedroom, everything. So everybody has to go for work, and they tell me that they are disturbed, they are getting disturbed. So I really don't know how to study. And Rajni, you were there. You said the solution is simple. I'll get a table lamp from home. And the table lamp was there next day, tomorrow morning. And this girl was so happy, the problems were solved. So, communicating with the teachers, teachers communicating with the students, and even as a head, communicating even with the sweepers, safai karamcharis, it's very important.
मैम वो बच्ची मुझे जो है, मैं आईपीयू में अपने बेटे का एडमिशन कराने के लिए गई थी. ही वाज डूइंग, ही हैड टू जॉइन आर्किटेक्चर. तो दैट डे दैट गर्ल from the crowd, she shouted, "Ma'am, ma'am," and I said, "Wow!" So she was doing engineering from there. तो वो दिल्ली में आईपीयू यूनिवर्सिटी से उसने इंजीनियरिंग करी है एंड बहुत अच्छा कर रही है. सो दो स्मॉल चेंजेस मेड brought about such big transformations in the lives of children. So I know मेरा बेटा थोड़ा सा ये कर रहा था, मम्मी कहीं भी जाते हैं आपके students मिल जाते हैं. तो
Yeah.
but that's the beauty of being a teacher.
Now I'm reminded of another girl. When I saw your last podcast where that UPSC boy, IAS boy was there, and he was talking about
प्रेरणा
Prerna.
जी
I remember she used to be late every day to
जी
school. And when that boy said, in that those questions, rapid fire discipline. So, class 12 students regularly coming late in the morning because, they go for extra classes and they are tired and all. But then, discipline is discipline. It's a school, they have to reach on time. And this girl, was coming every day late. And you people with your mobiles used to call up the parents and tell them that your child has reached late. So just wake them up in the morning so that they are on time. So when you talk to this girl, she's a very shy girl, and we came to know that she didn't have a mother, and she's cooking food in the morning and coming, and the class teacher called the father. Father was also a teacher, and then told him that now the burden of studies is quite a bit, and she's a brilliant child, so just make them free from this. And of course, he kept a cook and whatever, and then this girl was coming on time. So sometimes, children are too shy to tell their problems, and we have to connect with the parents. So, even the parents should make sure that, off and on they are connecting with the teachers
yes.
or the school authorities, because at times there are certain things, we miss.
Ma'am, both of us worked in this amazing institution, and your role in making the institution amazing was paramount. My question to you is that can excellence exist without empathy? How do you make institutions that stay with the students forever?
Empathy, compassion, they are basically the backbone of the institution. Empathy, compassion at every level between the teachers, students, principal, teacher, and with every person who is involved with the school, even with SMC people. So we had to build a beautiful connection. And as you were asking, I've seen my own children. The schooling from where you do, it plays a great role in shaping up the kind of a human being, the kind of a person you are. And I wanted that our students should have all the core life skills which are required to uh, be there in the world once they are out of the school. And these life skills will take them, to places if they develop that. So I wanted that for every student, the school should have some beautiful memories. We should create some beautiful moments which they carry with them, throughout life. If you remember, once there was circular from the directorate where students were asked to make cards for the Jawans. Our children made beautiful cards. The art teacher showed some of the cards, amazing things. Now, what to do with these cards? We worked at it, a lot of communication, and you were also there with me.
I wrote the mails and
Yes. So, again, uh, continuing with the communication, and a group of students went to army headquarters with you, me, and maybe some other teacher. And there our children were amazed with the lady army officers, their way of talking to them. And those children, they were, you know, they wanted to, some of them, they wanted to become the army officers, and the kind of discipline they saw in them. So they said that they will never forget. Again, our school was a member for Newspaper in Education, NIE and HT PACE, and our children visited Kiran Nadar Museum of Art. That was an amazing experience for them. The whole school was made to visit. That was again sponsored by one of the newspapers. They made art there, and even the parents accompanied them. Similarly, we had a lot of experiences for the students, and every time they interacted with people, they went out, they learned a lot of new things which they continuously always shared with me. And they specifically told me that, ma'am, we are not going to forget this. Their visit to Mother Dairy, where they had lots of milk and enjoyed the day.
So NEP talks about experiential learning, but we were already, trying to bring that in the classroom. If you remember, ma'am, I'm a Fulbright scholar, and when I went to the US, that was one of the first things that I picked up. I went there in 2011. That when you generate experiences in a student's life, you are not just giving them experiences, you are sowing seeds of future experiences, future ambitions, future goals. तो जो आपने अभी सारे experiences की बात की, वो experiences से बच्चों को realize होता है कि हाँ, मैं भी शायद ये कर सकता हूँ, क्या ये भी, and जब भी हम किसी भी excursion से वापस आते थे, we always made them reflect on the experience and made them write or share what they learned from it.
I'm remembering another thing. Newspaper in education. So they were getting newspapers, and there were comic strips and different things, something about science, some discoveries. So every class was, it was the library teacher who was involved into it. Every class was given a task, and after a month, they will, cut the clippings of the comic strips and create small books and keep it in the library for, future reading and things. So children, they created lots of things from the newspapers also.
So, ma'am, listening to you now, with your years of experience, it's difficult to imagine what you were like as a young student yourself. You were a biology teacher. So, what kind of a student were you?
Okay, so if I remember my childhood in the school, I was an introvert student, and I still remember my class 2 teacher, Mrs. Lyle. I remember her name, and I can also, see her in front of me. Uh, I don't know what she found in me, but she was the one who really encouraged me. And by the time I was in class 4 or 5, I was doing very well amongst the top 3 students of the school, taking part in various activities. So that was it. And then being a biology person, again, that is because of the biology teacher. Miss Kazim was our biology teacher. I still remember her name.
Okay.
And we used to look forward to her classes because she used to take us out in the school gardens and show us various plants and insects. In our times, we were dissecting frogs, and she was so good at dissection. Probably that skill I learned from her. And very encouraging, teacher, and connecting with us. We could talk about anything to her. So probably that was something which made me take up biology in future in my graduation, post graduation.
Any struggles that you remember that you think shaped you?
Uh, Not exactly as a student. I had a comfortable uh, schooling. Yes, I missed my medical seat, DPMT, by 1 mark. Uh, but then got over it, fine. I'm doing graduation and I can go further into it and maybe to become a teacher. That was the second option, always there. So, nothing very, very specific or traumatic or anything like that, if I say so.
So one difficult question. Do you think one learns more from successes or from challenges or struggles?
See, you learn from the struggles as well as from success. But for learning, you have to be aware. At times things happen and you never learn anything. Now, with this learning word, I am remembering of my visit to Finland, where I found that the emphasis was more on learning and less on teaching. In the sense that, fine, as a teacher, you have taught something, but whether the learning has happened or not. And after coming back from there, if you remember, I made it mandatory that the last 15 minutes of the period will be spent on assessing the learning. And that really bore fruit and we did well. So, even for academic audits, I remember when we were sent to schools, the whole syllabus is finished and it's a revision going on, and every teacher is, teaching to the students for the board exams, but they are unaware whether the learning has happened or not, whatever has been taught, whether the child has learnt that or not. So, learning is something which is, very important. We have to emphasize on that. And for learning, there is some kind of an awareness. So, whether you are successful or, failing in some areas, learning has to happen. And for that, self awareness is very
I mean, you
important.
are, I would say, absolutely right there, because I have seen so many toppers, in my experience as a teacher. And one thing that I've really noticed is that these people are highly aware. तो चाहे आप फेल हो या सक्सीड हो, आपकी अवेयरनेस ये होनी चाहिए कि हाँ कोई नहीं, अब की बार 2 मार्क्स कम रह गए, 10 मार्क्स कम रह गए, बट येस दैट इज द गैप दैट आई नीड टू क्लोज, और येस आई कैन डू दैट. तो जिनमें वो अवेयरनेस होती है, आई मीन आई हैव सीन स्टूडेंट्स जो किसी पर्टिकुलर कोर्स को ज्वाइन भी कर लेते हैं, बट अवेयरनेस इतनी है कि येस दे आर एबल टू रियलाइज इन द फर्स्ट ईयर इटसेल्फ कि नो दिस वन इज नॉट फॉर मी. तो दैट इज अवेयरनेस कि आप उसको छोड़ें और कहीं और ट्राई करें कि हाँ अगर मुझे ये पसंद है तो मैं ये करूँगा. सो that awareness is what makes what differentiates an average student from a topper. तो students अगर आप सुन रहे हैं, then please take note, always analyze what is it that you are doing और वो awareness को learning में convert करें.
So, Rajni, I'll say, fine, I missed my medical seat, but then I set my eyes upon becoming a teacher. So, if not a doctor, then a teacher, then not an average teacher, a good one. So, you have to continuously work and enjoy your work. So, hardly matters whether you are a teacher or a senior executive or working in any organization. You have to enjoy what you are doing it. So if you are not enjoying your work, then you will be an average person. Maybe your IQ is high, but you will be an average person. So it's your attitude towards work which takes you to places, not merely your qualifications. This is how I feel.
मैम आई हैव सीन स्टूडेंट्स, कुछ स्टूडेंट्स को जब मैं फीडबैक देती हूँ या बोलती हूँ कि भाई हाँ बच्चों ये यहाँ पर कमी रह गई, ये बेटर करना है, दे टेक दैट पॉजिटिवली एंड वर्क टुवर्ड्स इम्प्रूविंग दैट. देर आर अदर्स जिनको अगर ये बताया जाए उन्हें लगता है आप तो हमें क्रिटिसाइज कर रहे हैं, है ना, आपने तो हमें कम नंबर दिए. अरे इट्स नॉट अबाउट आज क्या नंबर दिए, इट्स अबाउट प्रिपेयरिंग यू फॉर कि तुमने लास्ट में फाइनल में कितने मार्क्स लेकर आने हैं. सो दैट डिफरेंस कि आपने लर्न करना है या आपने नहीं करना, उसमें डिफरेंस दिखाई देता है.
रजनी, यहाँ फीडबैक की आपने बात करी, सो आई एम रिमाइंडेड ऑफ our cluster leadership development program which we had for our Directorate of Education. It is continuing as a Prathmik Pradhanacharya Samvad in MCD schools nowadays, and we take one full session on giving and receiving feedback. So this giving and receiving feedback is an art where we don't have to be judgmental, and it's very difficult to receive feedback. So we are working on that with the head of the schools, principals of the MCD schools, because when I am sitting on the chair, I feel I know it all. It's not that. I'm just a coordinator. So we talk of non-positional leadership, and this feedback activity is something very important, which
Yes.
I'm glad that you are doing it with your students, because it's a feedback loop, which makes us grow rather,
Yes. Ma'am, here I would admit that I was also very poor at receiving feedback at some point of time. So this is also an acquired trait. हम सीखते हैं, सीख सकते हैं. शुरू में जब कोई फीडबैक देता है आप उसकी इंटेंशंस को डाउट करते हैं. आई विल नॉट से कि हर बार इंटेंशन सही भी होती है. देर आर पीपल जो मेलिशियस इंटेंट के साथ भी फीडबैक देते हैं. बट yes, if you feel कि that feedback can help you grow, you should be open to it. तो ये आर्ट भी आजकल तो YouTube पे बहुत कुछ सीखने सिखाने को
I
मिलता है.
remember you, yes, at times initially,
हाँ,
when
जी.
if I'm telling you something, at times, you also used to get, कि मैम ने ऐसे कैसे कर दिया, कह दिया. So I'm good that you're growing up for that. And feedback is something, very important. And we have to, once you get a feedback, you have to reflect on it. Reaction, of course, is now not in your dictionary. Even responding is not very important. First, reflect on it, why the other person is saying that. If it's with a malicious, intent, then leave it. Fine.
जी, जी.
Don't let that affect you.
जी.
So, I'm glad that you've talked about feedback.
No, ma'am, you brought up two very important words, react and respond. तो थोड़ा सा इसका difference बताइएगा.
See, if I'm saying something to you and you don't like it, you just blurt it out. As you have younger children, your own children, many a times when we tell them something, do this, don't do that, they react
जी.
at times, So that is
Many times.
many times. Yeah.
जी.
So, but then responding is when you think about it, and after thinking about the positives and the negatives, you work accordingly or you tell accordingly. And reflection में तो आप फिर बहुत आगे पहुंच जाते हो, आराम से सोच के, और फिर सोचते हो कि रिस्पॉन्ड भी करना है कि नहीं. बिकॉज many a times, many things happen during the day in our life where when we reflect about it, we feel, we were stupid to even respond or react about them. So, but again, as you said, they are all acquired things, acquired qualities. It takes a lot of time. And another thing which I learned is that you have to work constantly on yourself. You have to work constantly on yourself if you have to be aware and you have to be at peace with yourself.
जी, so the journey of learning never stops. There is no age. हम किसी डिग्री के लिए नहीं पढ़ते हैं, सीखते हैं. हम अपनी डेवलपमेंट और इम्प्रूवमेंट के लिए सीखते हैं. मैम, आपने बहुत साल बायोलॉजी पढ़ाई. So how do you think science shaped the way you think and act?
Biology is there in each one of us, and many a times I used to give examples as we have adolescents in class 11th and 12th studying with us. Many of them had some crushes, broken hearted. I used to tell them, look at your heart, which is working even before your birth, and it doesn't get disheartened. What if your heart gets disheartened? What will happen? I'm again reminded of one of the laws, Liebig's law of minimum, we used to teach while doing photosynthesis. So, speed of any process is governed by many factors. I'm not teaching biology, Rajni. You have just switched on that bio button. So, any process is governed by many factors, but what governs the speed of the process? That is the slowest factor. So, probably when I joined as a head of the school, I could identify some of the slowest factors by which our speed was hindered. So, biology is there everywhere. Many analogies can be given for our life experiences from biology.
एब्सोल्युटली. सो जो आपने पढ़ा होता है वो आपकी थिंकिंग को डेफिनेटली शेप करता है. एंड आपने ये बड़ा ही इम्पोर्टेंट लॉ बताया मैम. एंड यू हैव बीन सच अ गुड टीचर दैट इट विल स्टे विद मी. बट आज के स्टूडेंट्स को आपको क्या लगता है कि भाई बायोलॉजी पढ़ाते वक्त किन चीज़ों का ध्यान रखना चाहिए? मैंने देखा है कि बहुत सारे बच्चे जो है बायोलॉजी को सिर्फ एक रट्टाफिकेशन का सब्जेक्ट समझते हैं. तो व्हाट इज रॉन्ग विद रोट लर्निंग? और क्यों हाउ इज रोट लर्निंग डिफरेंट फ्रॉम अनदर काइंड ऑफ लर्निंग जो आपने अभी बताई?
See, now, of course, if you see the new science books, Curiosity, which has come out for class 6th, 7th, 8th from NCRT, it's very different. So it is talking about a lot about creativity. They are talking about metamorphosis, but not giving the term metamorphosis. So they are asking children to predict. So instead of just telling the plain facts, give them the situation, let them think about it. And this thinking, I'm sure, is always creative. Everyone has got creative thinking. But the thing is that we are not switching on that button. We are just asking them, you remember, and just regurgitate it in the examination. So that
Inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning. So reasoning,
questioning, that questioning is very important. Every teacher has to learn this power of questioning, asking questions from 10 different angles, and that is definitely going to switch on their creative thinking button. I feel
इनफैक्ट मैम एनसीईआरटी के साथ मैंने भी एक प्रोग्राम में काम किया था. डॉक्टर कीर्ति कपूर ने वो एरिक स्टडी लीड की थी, वेयर दे स्टडीड द डिफरेंस इन द टीचर लैंग्वेज एंड हाउ व्हेन द टीचर इज आस्किंग द राइट क्वेश्चन हाउ दैट इज इम्पैक्टिंग द स्टूडेंट लर्निंग. सो थोड़ी सी हमारी लैंग्वेज, थोड़ा सा हमारा क्वेश्चन पूछने का स्टाइल लर्निंग को मल्टीफोल्ड इंक्रीज या डिक्रीज कर सकता है. तो हमें लगता है कि शायद क्लास में हम ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं करते हैं और बहुत सारे
We
पेरेंट्स और
load them
स्कूल?
with the facts.
जी
We
जी
just load them with the facts.
जी जी जी
Now, when you're saying questioning, we work a lot in our leadership program on questioning, asking questions. It's a skill
जी
which is very important. Even by talking to the students or to the parents, you come to know about many things. Again, I'm reminded of another incident. There was this boy in class 12th not doing well. And being in RPVV school, of course, all of you used to take that pressure. We have to do well. And the class teacher came to me that I have tried all kinds of things, ma'am, and this boy is not showing any results. I am going to call the parents. And when we delved further, we came to know that parents are staying in a village. He's staying in Sangam Vihar or some place with his uncle who is an auto driver. So I told the teacher, class teacher, just send this boy to me. I asked him few questions uh, about his how he spends his day when he gets up in the morning, everything. And in the end, I realized that he eats the first meal of the day after reaching home, after cooking himself, maybe around 5. This boy is hungry since morning till 5 p.m. in the evening.
ओ माय गॉड
और रजनी भूखे पेट तो भजन भी नहीं होता.
जी 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 पढ़ाई तो कैसे होगी?
पढ़ाई तो कैसे होगी? So I told the water woman, you just take a lunch box and fill it with the midday meal and give it to him very quietly. You won't believe the results changed. And this boy really did well. And in fact, the class teacher said, oh, if I would have known. And then she herself started bringing, breakfast paratha for him. Even you used to do that for some of the children of your class, if I remember
Yes, ma'am.
correctly.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
So, questioning. So, by asking simple questions, I could reach the.
That is one thing that I learned from you. Ma'am, before coming to RPVV, I had already been teaching for 16 years. But उन 16 साल में I used to treat the class as a class, not as a group of individuals. तो ये चीज़ मैंने आरपीवीवी में ही आके सीखी कि भाई क्लास तो है बट ईच वन ऑफ देम हैव अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी एंड इट्स इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर अ टीचर टू नो द स्टोरी द एम्बिशंस द ऑब्स्टिकल्स व्हाट ड्राइव्स देम एंड जब तक आप इंडिविजुअल को मोटिवेट नहीं करोगे तब तक आप ग्रुप को आगे नहीं ले जा सकते तो thank you so much. That is one thing that I learned from you, apart from many others. But yes, this one also. So, ma'am, even today, students of RPVV who studied under you speak about school so emotionally, not just academically. So, why do you think the bond became so strong?
In fact, you have to create a bond, and this bond can be created in different ways. As a principal, when I had joined, there was no biology teacher. So I used to teach biology. Almost for 2 years, I taught biology to +2 students. So they got connected with me. Otherwise, I feel as a head of the school, you have to go around, meet the students of any class, whether it's class 6 or 8 or 12th or 11th. And when you are interacting with the students, you learn to, you come to learn in which direction the students are going. Now, one of the days I am remembering of, that arrangement was going on and humanities class was free. So the timetable in charge told me, ma'am, this class is free now. So I told them, you make the arrangement, I'll go and talk to them. So those days, the Swachhata Abhiyan had started, and making toilets in the country was, everywhere. And that day in the newspaper, there was a news that one of the girls, newly married girls, sold off her Mangal Sutra to build toilet. So that became a point of discussion in the class. We had a beautiful debate, and Rajni, you won't believe, boys of the class said, fine, she did the right thing. But the girls were divided on their opinion. Half of them said she did the right thing, and half of them were saying, no, she did the wrong thing. So the whole period went off like that. But then I had a nice talk with the class teacher and told her where your class is going, and you bring them to the right path. So it's very important to connect with the students, talk to them about various things. And I have, your podcast will go on and on. I have many incidences where I could get the feel where the class is going or what is the wave going on in the school. So probably that is why.
So I think it was this personal connect that made the students love the school so much.
Maybe, yeah.
So,
Once there were some officers in the
जी,
school.
जी,
They were invited for some seminar or something, I don't remember. And they specially complimented that we asked the way to the principal's office from a small child, maybe 8th class, and that child knew where the principal's office is. And again, we asked the way to the principal's office from an 11th class child, and she also knew where the principal's office is. So, by observing this, they complimented it, said, ma'am, that shows that you have a connect with the students. So that was उनका मापदंड था ये जानने का कि बच्चों को मालूम भी है कि प्रिंसिपल कौन है कि नहीं है स्कूल में.
जी, जी, जी,
तो
जी.
वो बहुत ज़रूरी है.
मैम आप आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर आपकी ड्रॉर में हमेशा चॉकलेट्स का जो है पैकेट हमेशा रहता था और कोई भी बच्चा किसी भी कारण से आपके पास आता तो सबसे पहली चीज तो उसको चॉकलेट मिलती थी. सो कई बार तो बच्चे सिर्फ ऐसे ही आ जाते थे कि मैम आज हम चॉकलेट खाने आए हैं. सो दैट वाज सो मैम आफ्टर
रजनी, जब उनका बर्थडे होता था वो मुझे चॉकलेट ला के भी देते थे.
बिल्कुल देते थे
It
मैम.
was a reciprocal relationship. They loved me and
जी, जी.
I loved them too.
Yes. So, ma'am, after post retirement, what is it that you miss the most?
I miss the children actually. वो बच्चों के साथ एक वाइब्रेंट एनवायरनमेंट होता है, तो और बहुत कुछ नया सीखने को मिलता है, तो वो चीज़ मैं मिस करती हूँ. अपने बच्चों को ज़रूर मिस करती हूँ.
Ma'am, just as you miss the students, I'm sure the students also miss the time that they had in school. So, students, if you studied in RPVV during those years, and if there is one memory that you still carry with you, do write it in the comments. Don't forget. So, ma'am, हमारे podcast का एक छोटा सा segment है rapid fire. So, are you ready for some rapid fire questions? Okay. So, marks or mindset?
Mindset.
Always.
Yeah.
Discipline or empathy?
Discipline is important. Empathy comes along with it.
Innovation or consistency?
Consistency, it will automatically bring innovation.
Lovely. Fear or respect?
Respect.
One quality every principal must have.
Should never be judgmental about anything.
One thing every teacher should never lose.
Temper.
Oh, one sentence that defines leadership.
It is, an agency with integrity based on trust.
Wow. Ma'am, you need to explain it also a little. Huh?
As a principal, you have an agency to do so many things. You have the power. But it is to be exercised with integrity, and there has to be a trust. Trust with the teachers, with the students, with every person in whose contact you are coming with. Without trust, Trust is basically the foundation for leadership, I'll say.
Ma'am, after so many decades in education, what is it that makes you most fulfilled about your role?
As a teacher, I really brought results. I taught for 11 years in a private school, and those children, I'll say children, they are now in their late 50s also, still connected to me, and they helped me when I was heading this school. May it be sponsoring biscuits for the winter break classes or summer break classes, may it be papers for writing for my students, for practicing the 3 years papers, annual board exam papers, or gifting them something for the farewell. So I just had to tell them, and things were there at my doorstep. At the same time, I feel I was able to perform my duties to the best of my capacity because of the beautiful group of teachers I had. Whether it's you or Amita or Madhusuri or Deepthi or anyone, each one of you were with me for the students. And at times I had to correct some of the teachers for their over the board empathy. Rajni is smiling because a number of times I had to correct you because you have to look at your personal life too. But uh, I think it was the universe in our school, everything moving in tandem. Everything was so well in tandem that I couldn't have got the better group or better time than that.
And the results were amazing. And I truly believe that institutions become excellent when you have people who believe in each other. And ma'am, your impact on the institution was such that so many students, so many teachers still carry all that you taught them with them in their hearts. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was
Thank
amazing
you.
talking to you. And I'm sure our students, our teachers, and young professionals entering the profession also learn what this field is all about. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.